welcome to camp that we've not set up yet, but we found a nice flat area in there. We've squished this dead fern down. Oh God. Oh, Lord help us. Lord save us from... Oh God. Oh, just gives you the shivers just thinking about it. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh. Was that nice? Did you enjoy that? So this is Willie's or Wiley's thing. You might not be able to camp here in the summer when this is all grown up, but this is a pretty decent patch. The wind is coming up the valley, so we'll put the back sort of along here. So we'll put the back sort of along here and the side there. So we'll kind of lie down in that bit through there. That'll be the back, that'll be where we're lying. And that's where we can do our cooking. It's a nice, really nice patch there. I started coming up the valley and the main path is over there. And I was thinking, well, it's all heather, nowhere near water. Let's get down to the water and just have a look along here, because it's 2:30 and we've got an hour and a half of daylight. So if you watch one of my videos, I say try and find your camp by 3 o'clock. So we found it by 2:30. So we've done okay. The breeze is definitely starting to pick up a little bit now. But you can see all that snow up there. Well, we're walking snow soon. If there'd have been snow down here, then we would have been walking in snow down here. It's just we're just below the snow line, you know, here. I don't know what the elevation is. It's nearly 400 meters. So it's about 400 meters here. So, I mean, we're just below the snow line, but I don't think there's going to be anywhere because it's all on the slope over there. So we can only do what we can do. It's cold. You know, this is as much about dealing with cold weather as much as it is, you know, dealing with snow. And I would have been quite happy if there'd have been 2 or 3 inches or an inch of snow here. That would have been nice. If we'd have had, you know, a covering of snow, that would have been nice. But we've got frost. We've got plenty of frost. And we've got, I don't know if that's Lassie the red-nosed sheepdog, or Rudolph, or one of the, I don't know. Brain's frozen. Anyway, I think we're going to get the tent up. I don't know what the temperature is. I've made a few thoughts and notes, and I think when I'm in Scotland with Chris, I'm going to bring a second one of these drinks pouches, not for drinks. And like I said, this is where this walk has been useful, because the side pouches on this pack, I don't know what they're like on the HMG bag, which I've got coming. I bought it and a friend just brought it over from America. So I don't know what the side pockets are like on that one. They're good on the Gregory, but they could do with being a tiny bit bigger. A little bit bigger would be good. So also I think for convenience, another one of these and put my snacks in it, and maybe the weather station, you know, just a few bits and bobs that I don't need to be kept waterproof, but that I can, you know, that I can get to, you know, really easily, because the side pockets are handy for maybe for glasses, maybe my sunglasses, my waterproof over mitts go in there. So within reason, the less clutter I have in there, you know, the better. So that's kind of, so I've learned a few things from this trip. So it's definitely been worthwhile, you know, getting up here, and you know, various other thoughts have crossed my mind. But this is a very, very nice, perfect flat area through here. Literally couldn't ask for anything better than that. We'll see what it's like when the tent's down, but that does seem really nice there. So I'm going to get the tent pitched and we'll try and get a few photographs of it, and then we will reconvene. And don't forget, if you want the front a little bit lower, I think you can get it a little bit lower if you lower the central pole a little bit. That would help as well, but I've made the center pole about 1 inch higher, just because I think it's fine. I mean, I've got the back, you know, very low. I'm going to peg that one out there, so I've got the back pegged, you know, low, and the wind is coming up the valley, so, you know, I think airflow under there is fine. But if you do want it lower, then just lower your pole a tiny bit, loosen off your back lines, and then tighten the front ones a little bit more so it kind of comes forward, and then retighten the back lines. Also, another thing I noticed that some people do, MLD have put all of these loops on, you know, for sure, if you want to put lines coming out of every single one, you know, it's up to you, obviously, but it's really not necessary. And to be fair, you probably don't even need to do the ones that I do. You know, I'm sure it's strong, more than strong enough without, but I tend to just do the 3 that have the prevailing wind, you know, hitting that side, and then I just don't bother with the others. I don't see the point at all. So I'm going to tighten up the other lines, and then we'll get the ground sheet in. But it's a very nice flat pitch, this one, with a nice view up the valley up there. So let's get this pitched up, and then we'll go and get water. I think water is probably the next thing to do, and then probably to set up inside and get under cover before it, I mean, it's already now nearly 3 o'clock, so it'll be dark in 1 hour. The sun sets here at about 10 to 4, so it sets quite quickly up here. So, you know, the sun will have gone down in 1 hour, so it's not very much time at all. So I think we'll get the other ones pegged out, get the water, and then we'll retreat under cover for the evening. These gloves have done well, little light gloves, but we've been walking and it's not breezy. Like I said, I'll do a video at home in the Hobbs studio on gloves, I think. Welcome into camp. We've got everything set up. You can see I've got my booties on here to keep my tutties warm. When I was in Keswick, I bought about 3 meters of that foam matting. So when I get back, I'm gonna cut, it's 1.5 meters wide, which I will use as the width in here. And I'm gonna cut it so it's about 6 inches wider on each side. So about a foot, maybe about a foot wider than this. Maybe. But wider, because what I'd like is for it to run sort of 1.5 meters down there. So it won't go all the way down, but it will cover, you know, a sizable piece. And I'd like it just to come across that way, you know, a little bit. So maybe 6 or 8 inches wider. You know, I just want something down that side there, so that if my mat moves over a little bit, or I move over, or my bottom moves over, you know, I'm not just relying on this Z-light. I do like to have an extra foam mat with me, and it's so light, you know, I think for the extra few grams just to cover, you know, that's probably my little bit of comfort that I like, you know, on the ground. You know, I like these really big open shelters, but it is nice to have something covering the ground, especially as I was thinking, if I'm going to be in Scotland with Chris next year, fingers crossed that works, and we're going to be on snow, then, you know, I need to have something, you know, under me, and I think that's what I'm going to cut down. I've put one piece here because there's some rough bracken under here, so I just put that bit there, and then the other piece I've put under there for Lassie. So we'll see what she does and where she goes, and to whether she uses it. Once again, as I said in yesterday's, I've got my old MLD Spirit Quilt 48 there. So if she was to get cold, I could somehow, you know, wrap her in that. So, you know, I have thought to bring something. Whether it would work or it's a good idea, I don't know, but I have brought something. We set everything up in here. We're still, you know, in our clothes. So it's quite nice to be able to, you know, set everything up with my stuff on. So I might just put the boots back on again and just whip out and just video inside and take a couple of photos. That's the Duomid XL pitched. Unless I have to close the door, I will leave the door open. You can see how we've got it pitched out there. Welcome to camp. Welcome to Camp Sunshine, everybody. It's on the nippy side. I don't know the exact temperature, but we will find out. +1 degree at the moment, but it usually takes a minute to stabilize once it's been turned on, and it's already gone down. It's already gone down to 0.9. Okay, what we've got here is homemade spaghetti bolognese, and I had this yesterday. Well, another one, not this one, obviously, and it was delicious. So I doubt Firepot watched my videos, but this was better than the Firepot. Like I said, someone left a comment that Firepot used real food, so quite possibly it just needed more cooking. but it was still a bit on the, I have to say, it was still quite bland. Well, anyway, this is homemade bolognese with pasta. Obviously I bought the pasta, it's just regular pasta that I just put in there, so the pasta's not been dehydrated or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pot, put it there. Yeah, the temperature seems to be stabilizing at about 0.8, and looking forward to this now. It's only just gone 5 past 5. I've been watching Mrs. Doubtfire. God, I haven't seen that in years. It's quite good. There's that little... Oh, we'll fish it out in a minute. Oh, I think soak it just for a moment. Although it cooked up very well. The bolognese, actually bolognese cooks up really well. So I think we can actually put that on straight away. I think I've overdone the water a bit, but never mind. And with the bolognese, we have, that's vegetables. So there's some asparagus in there. There's probably green onion, or sorry, there's asparagus in there. Broccoli. Oh. So I know obviously, you know, you're adding things to your bolognese, but may as well. I shall have to get cooking again when I get home. Oh. Yeah. 0.8 seems to be stabilizing on that. That's probably going to be about right, I think. Yeah, so that's a bit of broccoli. That's a bit of onion, I think. And that's asparagus. It's either asparagus, but it could be green bean. There might be green bean in there. So we'll warm that up. And that should be very tasty. So I will invite you back after it's come to boil. And we'll leave it for a minute, and then we'll see what it's like. Yeah, 0.9, so it's not quite as cold as last night, but the forecast was saying, I think the forecast was saying that it wouldn't be as cold tonight. Oh, there's still a lot of frost on the ground though, so it's not exactly it's not exactly warmed up very much. But don't forget to keep your battery things in your sleeping bag, but just be careful when they're in there. I don't think anything will happen to them, but when you're moving around, just make sure you don't, you know, lean on them or anything like that. You know, those wires. That's well and truly boiling. Let's get that turned off. Oh. Look at that. Oh. Real bolognese, real pasta, real veggies. Oh, gonna have to make some more. Gonna have to make more of this. All right. Well, that's boiled, so we'll leave it for 10 minutes or so. It's 20 past, so it's soaked. It's boiled up, so it's had 5 minutes indirectly already. So we'll give it 10 minutes, and then we'll try it about 1/2 past. So we will reconvene in a minute. I've put my gloves on though, because it might only be 1/2 of a degree, but it's still quite chilly. Okay, let's see what this is like. That is one big bowl of food, and it soaked the water up quite well actually. It's quite hot. Well, the pasta's done. And the meat's done. And a bit of veggie. And it's flavoursome as well. That is all up. It's a broccoli sprig. All you children out there, got to eat your veggies. I think homemade bolognese reconstituted out here is probably the best, because it always rehydrates really, really well. That is really nice. All right, I'm going to put my gloves on because it's really quite chilly. Oh, this is nice. All right. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to carry on watching Mrs. Doubtfire.